This is Omega, and welcome to Money Mondays. So, today we are going to be doing the first episode of My 100 Rand Portfolio, where I'll be showing you guys how to invest with a process. So, in today's episode, I'm just going to do two things. I'm going to tell you about the tools that I'll be using, and then I'll show you the investment process that I use that I'm hoping you guys will be able to follow along with. So, let's start with the tools. Very quick and simple. We are going to be using Easy Equities, and so we're going to have the JSE shares that are available on Easy Equities, and then the American ones that are available, and the Australian ones as well. So that's going to be the broker we are going to be using. So to test our ideas, we are literally going to deposit money into Easy Equities and actually use real funds to make the trades, so you guys can actually see a real market experience and not just a demonstration experience. So that's the first tool. And then to run our analysis, we are going to be using a website called tradingview.com. You can download the application onto your laptop and use TradingView. It's going to be pretty cool. And you can also follow me on TradingView as Money Mondays. And then we are going to be using the Imf Data Tools. The IMF has quite a lot of data about different countries, and so it's a very useful tool to use in order to read what's going on in the world. So those are going to be our three tools. I will, along the way, be introducing other tools as well, but keep in mind these are the top three tools that we are going to be using. We're going to be using IMF data to make to come up with ideas about the world, and then we're going to use TradingView to analyze our assets, and then we're going to use Easy Equities to actually buy the assets. So the investment process that I use is something called a macroeconomic process. There's a lot of aspects to it, but in simple, you get four things that you have to predict the future about. And I'll quickly define the future. We define the future as any time after the current observable asset price. So it's a nice technical sounding term, but basically what it means is any time after you've looked at the share, that is the future. So we just looked at APSA right now, 187 rands a share. Any moment from now, that is the future. So it could be next week, tomorrow, it could be next month, end of the year, the next 5 years, or the next 10 years. And so what you are doing as an investor is trying to predict what the asset price will be. Will it be higher, or will it be lower than the price that we are looking at? So will the APSA price be higher next week, Monday, or will it be lower than the price that we are looking at right now? If you can determine that, then you can make money because you can buy the shares and sell them at a profit. So let's look at the process. So the four things, you get what's called a theme. The theme is basically the problem in the economy that various companies are trying to solve, and it's mainly related to human behavior. So things that we care about as people, something like energy. So how do we power our homes and our businesses and our cars? Education, how do we educate ourselves? Clothing, how do we dress? What do we wear to keep ourselves warm or to keep ourselves cool? Housing, where do we live? So there's a whole sort of themes that you will find in an economy. And under those themes, you then get sectors and industries. And South Africa has a lot of sectors and quite a lot of industries. And so industries basically are made up of companies that are trying to solve a similar problem or the same problem. And then you get the assets. The assets, that's what you invest in, all right? So that's the actual thing, the tangible thing that you invest in. So it could be a company, it could be a bond, or it could be a commodity, or it could be a currency. And then lastly, you get the asset price, okay? It can happen that you correct about a theme, or you correct about an industry, or you correct about an asset. So the company is doing well, the industry is growing, the theme is of something that's in demand, but you can find yourself being incorrect about the asset price. And unfortunately for us as investors, the most important thing is the asset price. If the asset price does not go up and you've already bought the share, it means you're not going to make money if you were to sell. So it's very important that you work towards predicting the asset price. So most of the trades that you're going to be seeing me make on the show are based on me just trying to predict what the asset price is going to be next week, next month, or next year. Most trades, of course, will be between 1 week to 1 month to 6 months in terms of the holding period. So I'll buy something, sell it by Friday, or I'll buy something and sell it a month later, or I'll buy something and sell it 3 or 6 months later. I'm not going to hold assets for longer than 6 months. I think it just won't be entertaining to try watch a share grow over a course of 6 months. It's just a bit more exciting when it's things that are bought for 1 week or maximum 1 month. So that's what's going to be happening. So I'll give you an example of how to use, say, theme, industry, assets, and asset price. So cool, we might look at, say, energy. People need power. and then we'll say what industries are aligned with energy. And so we come up with something like coal, and then we say the assets. Let's go find some companies, and then we're going to make predictions on the share price. So let's look at, say, the sectors or industries that are here. We are currently looking at industries, and so we scroll down, we realize, okay, cool, there's the coal industry. The dividend yield, the forward dividend yield on the coal industry is 13%. The change for the price today is 0.34. So when you put all the shares together, the prices have changed by negative 0.34%. Volume of shares traded 1.06 million. And yeah, energy minerals is 3 shares. So we click and then we go see these 3 shares. It's Exxaro, MC Mining, and West Coal. And so you can see the way we make our trades is we first understand what the situation, right? The current situation is the world needs energy, all right? And we have oil, gas, coal, we have hydroelectric, nuclear, and solar power. Those are different types of energies that exist. The change that's going to be happening long term is that the world is going to move to renewable power. And then the potential outcome of that is renewable energy companies are going to be the ones dominating. However, for now, energy is needed, all right? And so that's the current situation. But renewable power hasn't yet come online in a very strong way. So coal is still needed. And so we're looking at the coal industry to make some determinations. So what we do once we find an industry that relates to the theme, we then analyze that industry. And so I can quickly see here that I've got 3 stocks. All the companies put together worth 56 billion. Volume of trades that have been made so far is like 1.1 million. The change for the day is negative 1.6%. Performance for the month is 6%, and performance for the year, so since last year, April, is 29%, and performance since the beginning of the year is 47%. Pretty cool stuff. I can see the companies, and then I can actually analyze them. Click on the overview. I'll get a nice picture of the companies. All right, so the last price, the change for the day, some technical ratings, we're going to ignore those, some PE values, so price to earnings values, and then the values of the companies. I can see Exxaro is pretty much the biggest one here, and then I can look at evaluations. Of course, this is just one part of the analysis. I would then obviously have to analyze the price of the various shares and then tell which ones are worth buying after I decide the industry. And most of the time I'll zoom in further, analyze the company, and then decide to buy a company once I've actually analyzed its price and are sure that the price is not over, the price of the share is not overpriced, meaning that market participants will just want to sell it down if they think it's too expensive. So those are the type of processes that you guys are going to be seeing. And if you follow along, hopefully you'll be able to make some decent money. Of course, don't copy the trades. Do the research yourself. Don't just simply copy whatever it is that I am doing. So that's it for today. Enjoy the rest of the week, everybody. This was the first episode of My 100 Rand Portfolio. Next week, you're going to see me fund the account. Then you're going to see me do a little bit of research. It's going to be a small summary. And then I'm actually going to buy some shares and then explain why I've actually bought those particular shares. Until then, enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.